It looks like Arsenal found themselves a brand new manager. And when I tell you who it is, your mouth is gonna drop. Just like mine. I couldn't even believe it. And I'm Portuguese. I'm in shock. If you guys are happy football news and football talk is back, I need y'all to smash a big old thumbs up. If y'all want these to keep going all summer long during the transfer rumors, the World Cup, and all the news that's gonna be dropping, I need y'all to smash a big old thumbs up. Can we get 3,000 likes? Make sure to subscribe and turn your bell on. And oh yeah, was it a pen in the Real Madrid game? Let's get my opinion. Let's jump into football news in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Football news or football talk? I'm not sure. Let's get it. Listen, I couldn't believe my eyes. Now, you guys know I'm Portuguese. I follow Portuguese football. I follow Portuguese news like it's no one's business. I'm all about that life, man. Benfica's my favorite team. I know every Portuguese manager. I just know how stuff goes when it comes to the Portuguese league. Now, there was a coach that was in the Portuguese league that got fired from FC Porto and moved on. He moved on to do pretty good things with another team. Now, he got offered the Everton job. And when this man got offered the Everton job, I said, well, this is a really nice fit for him. This is a place that he'll do all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Paulo Fonseca has rejected the Everton deal to wait for the Arsenal job. This to me is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, Paulo Fonseca has been linked with Everton for a few weeks now. There's been talks that it was really going down and he was going to be the new manager of Everton. For him to reject the Everton deal, it only makes sense that he is going to sign for Arsenal. Now, this article absolutely blew my mind because there is no way. First of all, the first article I read was in like a Portuguese thing where it said that Paulo Fonseca was waiting for a bigger team. And I did the bigger team because in my eyes, Everton is a massive team. Everton is a club that you should be extremely happy to manage, especially if you're Paulo Fonseca, okay? Because Paulo Fonseca got fired from the Porto job. He did good at Paços Ferreira, which is a Portuguese team, which then he got hired by Porto and he did awful. He pretty much did nothing. And now he's over at Moscow or something. I believe he's doing okay. I know they beat Man City. He dressed up like Zorro. But does that qualify him to have the Arsenal job? Now, you get offered the Everton job, and for you to reject an Everton job can only tell me that you have a massive job lined up. So this Arsenal thing looks like it's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like and it looks like Paulo Fonseca is going to be signing with Arsenal unless all the stories that are coming up are absolutely false. And for Arsenal's sake, I kind of hope they're false. Because in my opinion of watching Portuguese football for a long time, I just don't think Paulo Fonseca is the guy to go ahead and knock off Man City. I don't think he's the guy to take Arsenal to the top. Can he? Possibly. Is he? I don't know. And I'll tell you three other guys that I think, well, two other guys that I think are well, just in the same bracket, in one being much higher than Paulo Fonseca. And they're both Portuguese men. So one of them goes by the name of Marco Silva. And he's a funny candidate because Marco Silva was actually offered the Everton job, which that's when Watford fired Marco Silva, who was doing good at Watford because they said he was linked to Everton and they fired him for that reason. Okay? So now he is not even being considered for the Everton job. Paulo Fonseca comes out of nowhere. Paulo Fonseca rejects the Everton deal to only look like he's gonna land an Arsenal deal. Like, this is mind-blowing to me. And then on top of that, I'm on the interwebs checking up stories when I see that Jardim, the Monaco manager, they're looking for someone new. And now I start to think to myself, if Arsene Wenger is still going to continue to manage, does he go back to France? Does he go to a team like Monaco? Does he continue in France? Because you guys know he was always buying French players. He's French. It kind of makes sense. So if Jardim gets fired and Arsene Wenger goes there, let's just say, Jardim's now available. And Jardim, this Portuguese manager who's done good for Monaco, did very good in Portugal. A fantastic manager. Obviously very good at working players up because Bernardo Silva, Mbappe, he does well with players. Is this the place? Is he a better candidate for Arsenal? I look at him and what he's done with a lot of the young players at Monaco and I say, he makes more sense for Arsenal, especially because Arsenal has a lot of young players. This makes more sense, you know? He actually went really far with the Monaco team in the Champions League. This makes sense. Paulo Fonseca is a ball, like a curveball out of nowhere. If this is really going down, if he's actually going to be the manager of Arsenal, I just don't see what he has done to land this job. Again, all of it can be false, but reports are he did reject the Everton job for a bigger job. Name a job that's bigger that's available. And they're saying, they literally say there that he's waiting the Arsenal job. That is that's nuts. Now, there's also been reports that Marco Silva is gonna land the job at Benfica, because Benfica has Rui Vitória, and Rui Vitória is not having a great season, but he did win 2 seasons off the bounce. Benfica's won it 4 years in a row, 2 with Jorge Jesus, now 2 with Rui Vitória. Rui Vitória did really bad this year, got kicked out the Champions League, all kinds of stuff, and now they're saying that Marco Silva is a possible candidate to the Benfica job, which means Marco Silva will no longer be available for Everton, although I do think Marco Silva will take Everton over Benfica, because everybody wants to manage in the EPL, everybody wants to play in the EPL. So Marco Silva, I mean, he's being looked at by a lot of teams. I just don't understand the Paulo Fonseca. This kind of comes out of nowhere, and I just think to myself, like, if you fire Arsene Wenger, don't you want someone that's proven? Don't you want to try to pull a Simeone? Don't you want to try to pull somebody who can really dethrone Guardiola and what he's building over there? I just don't know if Paulo Fonseca is that guy. Jardim has been battling PSG, going through the Champions League, just doing stuff over there at Monaco, where if they actually sack him, he makes more sense as a Portuguese manager. I'm speaking Portuguese managers. I'm not saying any of these managers are the right guy for Arsenal. I'm just saying if you're gonna go for a Portuguese manager, Jardim makes sense. In other news, Real Madrid faced off against Bayern, and I have to speak about this because I congratulated Real Madrid, and man, I got so many tweets about how the game was rigged, how Bayern deserved it and Real Madrid was so undeserved, and that Madrid might as well be called UEFA Madrid or something like that. I have a few comments I want to state on this. First of all, there is a penalty that is not given. The ball clearly hits Marcelo's hand. There should be a penalty right before halftime or right after halftime. I forget. The ball hits Marcelo's hand. It should be a penalty. It's not awarded. In my opinion, the ref made a massive mistake. Not the ref, I take that back. The stupid ref that stands behind the goal, that guy that does absolutely nothing, never, he's getting paid to do literally nothing. I don't even know why they've hired those guys to do that job, because they do nothing but stand there. They get front row seats to stand beside the best goalies in the world during the Champions League and do nothing. Also, the offsides, the linesman, absolutely terrible not to see that handball. But at the end of the day, Bayern lost for one reason and one reason only. Bayern beat themselves. That goalkeeper, I don't want to talk about refs. I don't want to talk about how UEFA Madrid stopped that. If you're a Bayern fan, you saw what I saw. Your keeper, every player played amazing. Your keeper completely let you down. When that ball comes back to him, you got to grab that. Even if you can't grab it, it's a back pass. You still have to grab that, because letting the ball go by without you touching it is going to be a goal. It makes no sense. You guys lost because of your keeper. Madrid played great. Bayern played great. Madrid didn't beat you. You guys awarded them a goal. It has nothing to do with the ref. Yes, you guys got a call that didn't go your way, but the goalie completely lets you guys down 100%. Also, a lot of people are like, yo, the ref this, the ref that. Ronaldo could have actually ended that game. There's a ball whipped in that when that ball falls to Ronaldo or Messi, 99.9% of the times, that's a goal. The ball gets whipped in from, I believe it's Marcelo or somebody, and Ronaldo misses pretty much, well, for him, a sitter. So in my opinion, Real Madrid obviously went through. It's not like Bayern completely annihilated them. It's not like Bayern. Now, did Bayern annihilate them in the second half? Yes. But over the 2 games, it was a fair game. It was a fun game. It was 2 great teams battling out. It's a great team like Madrid that could make history, getting attacked by a team that is one of the best in Europe. That's what you're supposed to happen when you play against one of the best teams in Europe. At the end of the day, if that keeper doesn't make that mistake, if Neuer's in net, this could have gone a different way. Let's not even look at the refs. Let's look at the mistakes that were made. And obviously more mistakes were made on Bayern's part. And that's why they're no longer in the Champions League. Unfortunate, man, because David Alaba, Kimmich, those guys played very, very hard. They played very, very strong. The substitution, the James Rodriguez substitution is one of the worst substitutions I have seen in football in a long time. James Rodriguez was one of the brightest, most like pushing forward. You can see how hungry he was. You saw that he wanted to put it to Zidane. You saw he wanted to give it to Zidane and show Zidane, yo, you made a mistake with me. You saw the hunger in him, and you pull out the guy that had just scored and was hungry. That was a really bad substitution. So in my opinion, Bayern, yes, they got messed up by the ref. The ref completely made a mistake, but at the end of the day, the goalkeeper made a mistake, and in my opinion, the manager made a bad substitution. So now we're gonna maybe see a Madrid versus Roma or Liverpool. Let's not call it yet because that game's not over, but Liverpool have a great chance of making the final. Now there's one more story that I want to talk about, and I read this story and I can't actually find the article anymore, but from what I heard and from what what I saw 2 days ago or a day ago. The assistant manager to Klopp, I believe it was, the Liverpool manager. I believe his assistant, who he's been with for years, actually stepped down just days, or just hours and stuff, or days before the Roma game, the biggest game of the season, a chance at the Champions League final. Now, I don't know how true this story is. I believe it is true. I saw it all over the place. I don't know if it was actually confirmed or not, but if this is true, if this man did step down, I would say this is, I'm looking it up one more time to kind of, see 100% if it's confirmed, yo, because that was a story that really stood out to me. Because here's another thing I gotta say, bros. If that is a guy that stepped down as well, that's another guy that should be highly looked at by clubs. The Klopp's assistant, also the assistant to Mourinho. I think that's a man that is a very, very, very good look as well to teams like Everton and stuff like that, because it's the same way Villas-Boas was. Villas-Boas was behind Mourinho for so long, and Villas-Boas obviously went on to have a decent career. Now he's kind of not doing nothing, but they're definitely two guys to be looked after. If that Klopp manager, I don't even know the guy's name, man, but his assistant, if he is gone and he left Klopp's side, the way Klopp plays football, the way he's kind of transformed Liverpool, obviously your assistant is there for the whole thing. You learn a lot of tips. You're trained by your manager. That's why you're the assistant waiting for that opportunity. Everton, Arsenal should definitely be taking a very, very, very hard look at this assistant manager and even interviewing him and see him if he fits the job. So that's our news for today's bros. We got Madrid going to the final again, can make it 3 times in a row. We have Paulo Fonseca looking like he is going to be Arsenal's manager. Let me know in the comments down below if you can see any other reason why he would reject the Everton deal. That is craziness to reject the Everton deal. The only way you reject that is if you know you have a really good job in the works. And also, Klopp's assistant manager steps down. Again, that story a little bit iffy. I'm not 100% sure on it. I read it like in a couple different websites. I'm not 100% sure on it, but if he did step down for whatever reason it was, teams really need to evaluate that man's situation, because he would be a good guy to look at. With that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed the football talks, if you missed the football talks, I'm gonna need y'all to smash a big old thumbs up. And also, man, make sure to subscribe to this channel, because if you like Fortnite career mode and daily football news, your boy is gonna be dropping a lot of football news, especially on the way to the summertime. The transfer rumors and the World Cup is coming. You're not gonna want to miss it. Make sure to turn your bell on. We got news pretty much on the daily. Thank y'all so much for watching. Big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Football talk, and we out.